Hello, Angelica Turner here with Elizabeth Craft Designs, and today is new release day for me. Today I have the Spring Blossom Collection for you. I think the name says it all. It's spring and it's full of blossoms. So I'm going to go over the whole release and through the paper, the dies, the stamp, and then I have tons of gorgeous samples from the design team. And then at the end, I'm going to try to get a little demo in there featuring some of the flowers and other dies in this set. So let's get started. So here we go. To start off, I have the Spring Blossom paper collection, and it has this beautiful color palette, greens, the blues, pinks. So here is the first, which is the back of your cover or of the paper pack. And as you can see, we have all those beautiful blossoms, the cherry blossoms, the magnolia flowers, little birdhouse with the little chickadee birds and a very beautifully designed, elegant background. So this is the first design. Here's a second one. So you got a little bit of a vintage kind of style here that I did for the background, some vintage graphics and some print, again with all the beautiful florals here of the cherry blossoms, the little chickadee bird again here. And then on the back, we have this beautiful kind of a uh, blue color, more on the vintage side of colors, not too bright. And as you can see again, you have all these different layers of patterns blending in and out with the design and the texture. Here's another one. This one features the magnolia flower. Again, we have the little chickadee here. Um, some more designs blending in and out on the background, as you can see the little birdhouse on this corner, and then the back side is this beautiful design that can be used for all your different projects. Here is the main page of the cover that has again all the both florals, the birds, and then this beautiful green on the back. Again, all that pages have a consistent pattern that works very well together with each other. This one is an all over pattern, repeating pattern, and it has little bouquets of cherry blossoms and magnolia flowers. It made me think of beautifully elegant vintage wallpaper. So again, this is the green, kind of pulls it from that green. And then on the back, we have this beautiful blend of some of the green, the blue, with the browns in the overall page. Again, you have the vintage writing in the back. Then we have this beautiful uh, plaid design that pulls in all the different colors that you have seen through on the other pages. We have the browns, we have the greens, a little bit of the pink. Um, so you have all of that plaid again, and in the background you can see some of the design, the decorative designs as well. And then on the back we have this beautiful kind of a brown with some rose color tone in it, and as well as all that beautiful vintage illustrations and graphics in there to create this elegant pattern. This is one of my favorite sheets. These are 4x6 panels, and you can trim them to fit any size card you want. You have vertical and horizontal designs, so you can cut these, trim them if you need a smaller size for like an A1 or an A5 card, I believe. Um, so you can trim them if you need without losing your main image, that is your little bird in the birdhouse, and you still have plenty of the florals in there. So we have 6 of those panels. You got the magnolias, both florals in this one, cherry blossoms on this one, both florals, and then both florals over here with the chickadees. on a horizontal layout and then vertical layouts on these. And then the back, we have this beautiful age brown with touch of little bit of touch of the blues in there. So that is a very nice contrasting color to some of your lighter pan colors on the other sheets. And I think this is the repeating patterns. Let me double check. Yeah, so these all repeat again, but on the back we have different, we switch around the back. Let me see. So this one right here, this one has blue on the back. It's the same pattern here, but on the back of this one, we have the brown pattern. So that will be the difference on these ones. So this one has your magnolia, and then it has the pink. So they are all switched around, so you have more variety in the paper bag. This one has the blue, your small print with this beautiful kind of a brown and green, this pattern with the green, and then of course our 6 panels with this brown and kind of a green, blue-green color on it. So that is the Spring Blossom Paper Collection C031. Uh, it was just, I had a lot of fun designing this one and creating those beautiful, elegant patterns. So now for the stamps, let me get the samples here that I created so you can see the actual florals that I created for the packaging. So the first one I have here is 2244 Cherry Blossom. And let me show you what you get. You get 2 different little branches, small and large. You get the bud branch. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes of flowers. You get 2 different clusters, 2 different size clusters of leaves, and then you get 3 different sizes for the stamen, for the centers of your flowers. You get large, medium, and small, and I created 4 per plate, so that way you can cut a lot more at once. And here is the samples I created for the packaging. Can see both branches with all the different size flowers and the stamen and their little leaves. So again, that is 2244 Cherry Blossom. Move this off to the side. Next one is 2245, the Magnolia Flower. This one, again, we have 2 different size branches. Uh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sizes of flowers, a panel that cuts all the different stamen to create the center of the flower. This one, I tried to create it as close as possible to what the actual flower looks like. So I will have a little tutorial at the end on how I put those together and what's the reasoning behind the design of these stamen right here. We got 3 large individual leaves in a cluster of 3 smaller leaves. That way you can put them together and create different variations in your little branches. And then we have 1 little branch with the buds on this one as well. So in here, so you can see the actual flower. These are the samples that I created for the packaging. And you can see the centers, how I built them. Um, so that's what I will be showing you. And you can see the large and the smaller branch with the different size flowers, the buds, and all the leaves in there. So that again is 2245 Magnolia. Okay, the next one is 2246 Greenery Fillers 2. This one has 5 little different greenery branches that you can use as fillers, and these will fit perfectly in the base that I have in one of the sets that you will see in a little bit. You have these little plates here with all the little kind of round circles that fit into this one. So this smaller plate goes with this one, and this larger one goes with this one. So you can get something that looks like this. So if you want to cut the individual little berries, you cut them. If you want to cut them in different colors or color them separately, you have that option. Same thing for this one right here. It adds a lot more detail having all of those um, pieces cut separately, as you can see. So here are the 5 different little branches that you can use as fillers for your little bases or your little branches. Again, that is 2246 greenery fillers too. Okay, the next one, oh, this little guy kind of moved around. So this one is 2247 chickadee. So you have two little sizes here of the birds, and they have different, they have you have your base of your bird, and then you have all the different pieces that you can cut and color individually, and then layer to have something like this. And again, this one is designed after a chickadee bird, but of course you could, use your imagination and do different birds easily. But that is, as you can see, you have all the detail on the tail and the wings and the chest from the embossing lines and the dies. So you have a lot of detail in there. So that is 2247 chickadee. It's a lot of fun to put these little cute birds together. Okay, this one is 2248 3D modern bases. So these ones were created just, you always see these beautiful floral arrangements with the cherry blossoms, and they have all these very simple modern bases. So that was the thinking behind these ones. So you got 3 different bases. You got one plate, which is your base, and then these ones which add the decorative pieces on top. So you can cut those separate, and here are the bases. And I will have them in my little demo later in the video so you can see how I put them together. Um, the easiest way to actually put them together, assemble them, and put them on your project. So those are 3. And you can see also their size perfectly for your branches and also for that greenery set that I showed you previously. So again, this is 2248 3D modern bases. The next one I have here is 2249 ornamental frame. These ones are always a lot of fun to design. They're a lot of work, but the final result is always turns out amazing. Sorry about that. I've been fighting this horrible cold for the last week, so I'm still fighting with a little bit of cough here. So 2249 ornamental frame. Sorry about that. And we got 4 pieces. We got our solid frame, the decorative large frame, solid inner piece, and then the solid center or the decorative center. And you can see here the different pieces. So you have your green, which is your base. You can do a shaped card with this that will fit perfectly with the decorative piece right here. And then, of course, you have your centerpiece. And depending how you coordinate these ones or how you pair them together, you have several options of how you use them and what your end result will be for your project. So again, 2249 ornamental frame. And the last item here is the stamp set, CS 405, Floral Branches and Sentiments. So this one, we have the little chickadee here that you can stamp in color, a cherry blossom branch, and then a magnolia branch with a uh, good variety of sentiments for your projects. For you, celebrate, happy birthday to you, hello friend, thinking of you, hugs. Best wishes on this special day. Enjoy. All the best. Thank you and love. And then we have a couple of small little branches here and a small cherry blossom flower that you can, stamp on your projects, color. These are a lot of fun to color, and you will see some gorgeous sample from the design team that they created with this set. Again, this is CS 405, Floral Branches and Sentiments. So I am going to go ahead now and bring over some samples. Okay, so for some samples from the design team, here we go. So for our first sample, I have this gorgeous card from Rajni, and you can see here we got the little bird, the chickadee. We have the decorative frame in the back with the branches and all the cherry blossom florals. And then, of course, several layers of pattern paper and cardstock. absolutely stunning as always. This one is from Janet. Decorative frame here. She created the base of the card uh, with the die. We have the branch, the magnolia, best wishes, the center die as well. And then on the inside, we have it all decorated as well with pattern paper, the stamped images on this special day. As you can see, it makes for a very nice, elegant insert for your card. So this gorgeous sample is from Janet. We got one slimline here of Janet as well. And you can see how she used the base here. So you got it, she got it out of gold cardstock with a textured cardstock here. I love those panels, how they have that texture of a wood looks like. We had a decorative border in the background from one of my previous releases, as well as the butterfly. And then we have all the cherry blossoms here. The branch, hello friend from the stamp set. Look, that is just gorgeous. And of course, she decorated the inside as well with a stamp of the cherry blossom branch and thinking of you and some pattern paper. So that is another gorgeous sample. Oh, love the coloring on this one. This one is, I believe, Diane. Yes, Diane. Look at the gorgeous coloring she did on this. And I think they are colored with markers, alcohol markers. But look at that. So she used some paper for the background, and then she placed her branches on top with the chickadees and the little bud branches here, and then her leaves. Love the coloring she got on this beautiful sample. Here we have, oh, this one is from Rajni as well. So we have a combination, you can see a combination here of vellum flowers and cardstock or paper, white cardstock colored flowers. You have the branch, we have several layers of, this is the center of the decorative die. Looks like she cut it in half and split it on either end. You have the little stamped bird colored there, and then the stamped cherry blossom branch here. So on the background, and this is actually a envelope. So you can see the envelope. She used another half of the decorative die layered with white and gold on the back to decorate in so that you have a magnet right here behind this and a magnet on the inside of that envelope. So you have that very beautiful decorative envelope for like a gift card or special gift certificate. Let's see, this one's, so it's a set of trees. Petra designed this one. So we have a set of trees, so all three um, bases together. So we have one with a greenery, and this is what I was envisioned when I put these together. So you have this one that kind of um, hangs from the base. Then you have all of these ones. This one is curved slightly, so if you put several of them together, you can make a wreath with it and then put florals on it if you want to. And then of course you have all of the other ones here that she paired. You have the base here. Love the finish she did. It looks like the stress oxide inks and then hidden embossed on these pieces right here. So love that. So that's one base. We have space number 2 here with the cherry blossoms and the chickadee. She did coordinating pattern paper on all three of them. So it looks like a very elegant set. And then we have the third base with the magnolia flowers. You can see the flowers, the branches here, and then of course beautiful coloring. So that is a set of 3. Okay, we have this one, I believe it's Susan. So this is from Susan. Look at that, gorgeous. The magnolia flowers. You got a lot of layers in there, just kind of on top of the decorative frame. And then you have leaves, you have the branches, you have a lot of the greenery tucked in there together with the florals. This is gorgeous. Love the pop of the kind of a pink purplish color against the greens. Beautiful. We have one here from Petra. This one is the decorative frame with the cherry blossoms, the chickadee, say hello stamp on it. And she used, yeah, she used the center stamps the floral centers to stamp in the center and add that extra detail to these florals. I love that. Gorgeous, gorgeous sample. This one is from Anita. Look at that. So we got the base or the decorative edge or the solid edge for the decorative frame. Um, so this one, I believe, opens. Yeah, so it opens like that. And you have, say, hello, friend. You have all the florals, the cherry blossoms with some of the greenery here and all the little leaves. Those are gorgeous. Love that. Beautiful. Okay. See, we got this one here from Monica. Stunning. Look at those florals. So we got the magnolias, we got leaves here, the branches, and then of course the decorative frame layered on top of pattern paper. Beautiful. I just love the color, soft colors on this. And then, oh, and it looks like she stamped the little branch in the stamp set and um, detail cut the thing out so you have those stamped leaves in there as well. Gorgeous. Okay, we got another one here from Anita. This one is a magnolia. So she used one of the panels, 4x6 panel, and she placed some of the magnolias. Excuse me. The magnolia florals. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous sample. This one is, I just love it. I believe this is Rihanna. Yes, Rihanna. Okay, so let me see if I can show. So this one folds over. So we have the three bases and we have little florals here that hold each fold in place. And then you have all the greenery, the cherry blossoms on each base. Look at that. I just love the creativity in this one. Base of cardstock, and then decorated with pattern paper, the little bases, just beautiful. I think I had it too close to the camera there, so you can probably see it better now. Love this. Love the creativity on this one. So I'm going to put it down like that. Okay, we have another slim line here. Oh, Monica as well. Again, we have the magnolia flower here. We have a lot of the greenery, all done in the soft shades from the pattern paper. All of these are cut from pattern paper. We have the bow die from one of my previous releases, stamped on this special day. And then we have an oval die here from actually my previous release. So you can see all the different layering and how you can mix and match with different releases. Let me see, got another one here. This one is from Monica as well. You can see how elegant and simple is this. Hello, friend. You got the stamped images colored with a decorative center right here on just white cardstock. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Okay, this one is from, I believe this is Monica, the other Monica. We got two Monicas. So for you, very simple elegance. You can see that you don't have to do all that flower shaping and layering and layering. You can do very simple, elegant as well. Colored on white cardstock, layered with some pattern paper, and your little sentiment right there, beautifully done. This one is from Anita. So we got another one of the 4x6 panels, the sentiment and joy stamped over here with the cherry blossoms. And you can see as well, she did stamp the centers too with the floral centers stamp set to give them a little bit of extra, extra detail in the florals right there. Okay, we got another one from Monica. Here we got one of the 3D bases here. Celebrate. We have cherry blossoms and then tons of greenery and leaves just tucked in all over the place. And there, everything layered on top of several layers of pattern paper and the decorative die right there. So just love the color combo on here. We got in this one from Anita. And this one opens as well. So we got another one of the small panels here. She cut the center out with a decorative center die, and then some magnolia florals with the branches and the leaves to create that decorative frame around that beautiful image with the chickadees. We have this one, is gorgeous. Diane. This, of course, her beautiful coloring. Look at that. Um, the decorative frame right here, the pattern paper with a small design or floral bouquets on it, all the best stamped there, and then her coloring. Look at that. She stamped all the florals with a flower center stamp set for detail in the centers, and then she colored everything. I love the coloring on her leaves. They look so realistic. Gorgeous sample. Then we have another one here. This one is from Susan. Decorative border, decorative frame right here with the branches and the cherry blossom. And she stamped the centers as well with the flower center stamp set. She has the thinking of you sentiment right there. And then she added the stamen for the centers with an extra little gold stamen in there for that extra detail. And then, of course, a little bit of glitter. Just gorgeous. I love this one. And it's Diane's, of course, the beautiful coloring. Love how she did this. You have the pattern paper right here, and she took hugs. I don't know if you can see it right there. Hugs, and then the little leafy branch, and stamped it all over that pattern paper and hidden embossed it. I don't know if you can see the hidden embossing there. There we go. So you can see a little bit of that hidden embossing. She stamped the image on, I think, what is white cardstock and colored it. I'm not sure what she used to color it. Hopefully she might tell us when she does the post for this project. And then she does this white splatter on it, or spatter on it. It's just gorgeous. I love this. Love how it turned out. And then we got one more here from Monica with our little chickadee bird. Of course, creativity is number one. So she did a little bit of different coloring here. We have the decorative frame, the chickadee, and the magnolia flowers, colored completely different, shaped a little bit different, and they are completely different flowers. Look at that, gorgeous. Okay, so now I have some more here. This one is from Rashni, a beautiful decorative gift box. As you can see, all decorated with the pattern paper, the chickadee, the decorative frame. This one is layered several times. We got some pink cardstock with the gold, and then white base with the magnolias and the branches and the cherry blossoms. And then it opens into this gorgeous card. And as you can see, the inside is also has the pattern paper. We got a little ribbon here. So we got the chickadee again, the cherry blossoms, layers of cardstock and pattern paper with a decorative frame. And then it opens like that. Look at that, gorgeous. That they've she took one of the smaller the panels from the die and cut out from the pattern paper. Same thing over here with the chickadee. This is also layered with pink and gold. But look at that, just gorgeous. And the amount of dimension into that project is stunning. So I put that back in here. Then we have this one from Rajni as well, a little kind of a purse or little gift bag. Um, Again, beautifully decorated. We got the pattern paper. We got the magnolia floral here in the smaller uh, cherry blossoms with a branch, a little magnet for closure, and then your little gift bag, beautifully done. Okay, this one is just gorgeous. This one is by Rihanna. I'm pretty sure you all know her style as soon as you see it, but love all of these pages. So we got the branches, the magnolias, cherry blossom stamp right there. Then we got this vintage image. She stamped it on the special day on it. So that goes in that with the little bees. I think those are from Annette's collection. Oh, and this one, I believe this one is a pocket. So we got the pocket here, the decorative frame right here with hugs. Love that. And then you can see where she stamped the magnolia right here as well. And then these pages, look at that, the magnolia stamp here, fussy cut out. You can see some of the stamps in the background as well. The branches, for you, love and joy, with some of the tickets from previous releases, maybe from, I don't think it's a knits, but I'm not sure what release that one is from. But we have the cherry blossoms over here, colored in blue. Then we have another stamp here. I mean, you got layers of ink, paste, lace, so much stuff to kind of look at on these pages. Look at that. The chickadee, the little the florals, the stamp, chickadee over here again on the branch with some of the stamped leaves and fussy cut, and all the detail in the background with all that layering. One of my stamped images from my butterflies from last year. The branch again for the cherry blossoms. One of the bases here with all the greenery in the cherry blossoms, and again a lot of different layering of paper, paste, laces, absolutely gorgeous. And then this is the back. As you can see again, all kinds of textures, layers, colors, beautiful. So that's Rihanna's. Then we got another one from Rajni. She sent me a lot of dimensional projects. So this one is like a little basket done with the decorative frame, the centerpiece for the centers. And then you get the cherry blossoms here with the branches, the leaves, and the florals. Gorgeous. And then we got this dimensional card that has a little accordion stand. So you can stand it like that. But look at that. So you got a dimensional box that has on the inside fussy cut pattern paper. So you got the florals, then you have the cherry blossom die cut flowers and the little bird, the little chickadee in there. We got the white decorative frame, celebrate, and then we have the magnolia blossoms with the cherry blossoms in the branches all in the front, creating the beautiful decorative frame around the image in the background. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So that is the last of my samples I'll be sharing I'll be sharing with you today. I do have a lot more, but I'm saving those for the live in about a couple of weeks. Um, but next, let's do a little demo. So let me get this out of the way. So for my little demo, I wanted to do a demo using the flowers. So you see how I put them together, as well as the bases. And I'm going to put a couple of little branches for each flower together. And then I created this decorative frame. So this is the frame is that 1958 Shadowbox frame. This is a 5x7, so I created it into a 5x7, and I cut the decorative frame in the back from pattern paper, placed it on top of some of the green pattern paper from my new paper pack, and then cut the this piece from one of the sheets as well. I wanted that to be like the center of my framed image. So as you can see, it's all pattern paper here. I didn't use cardstock. I just built everything out of the pattern paper because it is such a nice thick, paper that you can build these out of pattern paper, and they are very nice and solid. So that is the base for my project. Now for the florals, so I'm going to start with the magnolias, and I already have a lot of the coloring done here, just to kind of speed up things. So let me get all my magnolia floral stuff here into my little mat for the ink. Okay, so I'm going to be using this branch and then those. I'm going to move that over to the side. So I cut two branches of just brown cardstock, and I glue them together to make it sturdier. So I have two branches of the magnolia, and this is the small branch, the small magnolia branch. And then I have two of these small magnolia flowers already colored, and then I have two, the medium size, and one slightly smaller. So for the coloring on this ones, I am using Bundle Sage ink, and I'm going to use a small blending brush. This mat right here, I use it a lot. Somebody asked me what it was. It's one of the mats. It's little what media mat that comes with a Ranger glass mat. That's what they are, and you can buy them separate. You don't have to, you know, get a glass mat to get these. I just like them because they're small. I can put it whenever on top of whatever I'm working on, and I can put the ink on it and just kind of pick it up from there if I want to. So I'm just using a little bit of that green to get a little bit of shading on my flower. I don't want a lot of color because the flower is white. I just want a little bit of shading, just like where it catches some shadows, I guess. So I'm adding just a little bit with this blending brush of the distress ink, and it's a light green color. So it's kind of blending it, and you can add as little or as much as you want. So I'm not sure if you can see the color there a little bit. Sometimes it's just hard to see the lighter colors with the light from my stand here. But okay, so I'm did the coloring process to all the flowers. On the leaves, I just blended some peel paint. I started with bundle sage, then added peel paint and some rustic wilderness. And I just kind of did the lighter color and then the rustic wilderness right here at the base. Started from the base of the leaf and then just kind of blended it so you have those colors. So I did that to the leaves. With my little branch right here, I started with some brown. Let's see, what color did I use? Walnut stain. So I did some brown here, and then I came back and blended some of the rustic wilderness for the base of the bud into the brown, just to give it that look like it's still, a brown branch or a green branch, and then a little bit of the bundle sage on the buds themselves for the coloring of those. And then for the stamen right here, I did add some of the peel paint with fossilized amber for the yellow. So those are the colors that I used on these. Um, so now for the shaping, I am going to move this mat out of the way. So for the shaping on this one, I'm using just a regular medium-sized stylus tip. I'm going to use this one right here. And I'm just going to do all the shaping on the front of the flower. And as you can see, I'm taking it from the tip towards the center, just kind of softening that paper, that cardstock. Now, these particular petals don't require a lot of it just because they are pretty much open for the magnolia flower. So I'm just softening the cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my little tweezers right here and kind of bend or fold over, curl over the edges. I don't know if you have, when you look at a magnolia, they have those curled edges. And you can probably see it right here. See how they kind of curled a little bit. So that's what I'm kind of trying to replicate here. Just kind of curling that and giving that. So that's what I did with, and I'm just going to run this through the center. That's what I did through to all of these layers right here. For the leaves, I think I have one right here. For these ones, I'm just going to go on the back and I'm going to take my stylus from the tip to the base of the leaf, give it a little bit of curl, and then on the front, and just a little bit right there. And then for these are going to create the centers of, or the center of the magnolia. So what I'm going to do is I then make sure I color them front and back on all of them. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to, let me switch to a smaller stylus. And I'm just going to kind of pull all of these into the center. switch to a smaller one and kind of curl it in. So I want them all to be, so this is what I kind of need to do at the end. Something that is going to become this little cone. And then all of these are going to kind of glue on top of that to give it that look like it's a solid cone covered in pollen, basically. Uh, so I'm just going to kind of shape all of these a little bit, and then I'll put them off to the side. And let me grab the sample that has the actual finished one so you can see what I'm trying to, what the finished flower looks like. So see how the little cone is right there? So that's what we're going to do, create this right here. Okay, so now that we have all of these done, let's go ahead and glue them together or create this. So these are the bases, and I'll go over how I put these ones together. So let's get the florals here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the center. That one right there. And then the next one right here. So as you can see, I have two layers of the same size and then a slightly smaller one. And then we have all our leaves. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit of dimension on this one with my fingertip. Okay, so now for the centers. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take this one, which is the one that has the thickest little legs right here. See how this one is thick and these ones are very thin. So this is going to be your starting point. We're going to start with this one, and I'm going to put some glue on the inside of each of these tips because I need to kind of get them all to glue together and stay kind of glued together. I don't know if you can see it. I know they're tiny, but I just need to hold them for a little bit until they kind of stay. There we go. Slowly. There we go. Okay. So you end up with something that looks like that. Sorry, the camera wasn't focusing. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to take this, the next one. So we got 3 sizes. So you want to work your way out to the smallest size. So we're going to take the next size, the bigger one of the additional 3. And we're just going to put glue in the center and then glue in those tips as well. And glue. Okay, and then the same thing for the next size. Glue in the center, kind of place it, and then kind of offset your little stamen so they kind of lay in between the ones that are already there. They're not aligned. So you want to offset them. And then same thing, a little bit of glue in on the tips and glue them up. And it will look something like that. You can see all the little stamen glued together. Okay, and then the smallest one, I'm just going to put glue right here and then glue that. And you don't have to, again, I'm offsetting, making sure it's like offset to the previous one. And I'm not going to even put glue on the top of, on the tips of that one. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then glue in the center. So that's how I build a stamen or pollen center that looks more realistic to what a magnolia flower looks like. Of course, you can take these and use them however you want, make them look different. So that is your magnolia. And here's one of the bases. Now I'm going to see how, where I'm going to place my flower. Is right here, my buds, smaller flower, and then of course all my little leaves. So let's see, where's my larger leaves? So I want this flower to be glued on the, so I can put it all the way down here. There we go. Okay. This one, a little bit of glue on this branch, so I can tuck it in right there behind the flower. Again, I like to start with my largest flower, uh, just because it's the focal piece. Smaller flower over here. And what I'll do is I'm going to glue that. And for that one, I'm going to do like maybe frills for the center of that one. And I'm taking one of the smaller leaves and actually going to place glue on it and then put this one behind the branch right there. I want to be able to see that branch, so I'm just gluing it behind it because I don't want to kind of completely cover the branch behind all the leaves. So I will place the leaves behind the branch. Okay, there's another leaf. Again, I'm going to do this one over here where it's going to go behind the branch as well. Press it down. Okay, and then another one. I think I'm just going to place this one over here, kind of up to the side. Okay, it's going to have to place the glue on the back instead of the front. There we go. Like that. Kind of press everything down. I'm going to place another one back here. Just kind of filling in the branch so it doesn't, you know, it has a little bit more foliage, more green. Just kind of trying to hold this one in place. There we go. And if I put this, there we go. And I think this one will be a good one on the other side of the arrangement. Like that. Okay, and now that fits. Okay, so for the base, what I do is you want to cut two pieces of this, your main shape. So two, I cut them out of pattern paper. And then one set of the decorative pieces right here. This one's I cut out of pattern paper and then heat embossed with the distress embossing glaze, walnut stain, which it has a little bit of color, but it's translucent. So you can see some of the different shades of the paper, but it with the glaze, it makes it a little bit darker, and it adds that kind of sheen or glaze look to it. So what I'm going to do is I have two pieces of these to make the one base, and I'm going to place glue on these tabs right here. And go ahead. So this is the front of my base. So I want these to wrap on the outside of that base. So your edges are nice and covered. And then I'm just going to do that. You can take your something long enough so you can press on those edges just to make sure they are glued. I'm using my tweezers here. I'm just pressing on the bottom and side just to make sure they're glued nicely. And you end up with this little box that will be your base. This one is already put together. Again, I did the same process, same pattern paper, colors, and then the heat embossing with the glaze. Now I have my other branch is the cherry blossoms. So I already have most of these colored as well. Let me get this out of the way. So for these ones, I have them, most of them colored and shaped. Um, Same colors for the leaves. For the cherry blossom, I did use the burn lipstick for the flower, and the fossilized amber for the stamen with a little bit of the green. Which green did I use? The peel paint for the center. So I did. Let me see if I can show you that. I did a little bit of green in the center, and then the yellow on the rest of the um, stamen. I did color front and back of those. The flowers I only colored on the front. Um, and let me get the mat real quick. And for coloring these, I'm using a blending brush, a little bit of color. Let me wipe that off. I think it has a different. Okay, a little bit of color, and then I'm just going to. I think I need a smaller one than this. This is too big. Let me get a smaller one. There we go. Let me get some of that. Okay, that's better. So I'm just going to take the color from the center and push it or pull it into the edges like that. And as you can see, I touch the brush first on the mat to make sure I don't have a lot of ink, because you can see how that first petal ended up with a lot of ink. Now I gotta make the others kind of blend together with it. And so I'm concentrating most of my color in the center and then blending it up to the edges like that. Okay, so that's the coloring for the flower. The leaves, I did pretty much the same technique of coloring as the ones for the magnolia. I started with a light color for the bundle sage, and then I kind of layered a little bit of the, let's see, peel paint, and then the rustic wilderness, which will be the darkest color in this leaf. So I did it from the base and then faded into the tip, so you have the lighter color on the tip. For shaping these, I am going to place it face down, and usually I do spray these ones, but I'm trying to go through these ones a little bit quicker. I put a little bit of water just to give them all that extra shape, but I'm just going to do this one on dry. So I'm going to use a smaller tip, and I'm going to go on the back side of each petal and do 2 lines from the tip, from the edge of the petal to the center. And you can see I'm putting a lot of pressure on these just to get them curled. And then on the back, on the front, I'm just going to go in the center, and I'm going to pull it from each petal about halfway into the center. And I switched to this smaller tip as well. So that is your little shaping for the um, cherry blossom. The leaf as well, very simple. They don't require a lot of shaping, just a little bit on the back from the tip to the base. And then I just touch it a little bit on the base in the front, where, because that's where usually the glue goes. And then the little stamens are just a little bit in the center. I didn't have another one. Looks like no. So a little bit in the center, and just get them nice and shaped. Actually, that one's too big. So there we go. Okay, and then my buds, I'm just going to give them a little bit. There we go. So they're not completely flat. Okay, so now to put this together, this one, it's a smaller of the cherry blossom branches. Cut two of brown cardstock as well and glue them together for extra sturdiness. And I am going to go ahead and take the two large flowers here and glue them together, making sure I offset my petals. So you have something that looks like that. Okay, then I have I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not sure. I think I got them all. So I have two of these smaller ones, two and two. So I got four total, and I'm going to go ahead and layer them also to each, offsetting the petals so they don't align perfectly, they're offset. And then the next one, same thing, two of the same size together, offsetting petals. Okay, and then I have all of these small ones. So I'm going to put the little stamen into the large one. I'm doing the 3 layers in that one. And then the smaller ones, I'm going to do probably like frills or something like that, just because I wanted to try something different on them. So I'm going to put, actually, no, I'm just going to do one stamen, and then I'm going to put one stamen on each of these flowers, the large and then these medium ones. And I might put a little bit of like green frills in the center of these ones. And then the smallest flowers, I might just put little frills in that one and those ones, see how they look. Okay, so here are my flowers. This one is going to go on this base. So let's see how we place them on this little branch here. Okay, so let's start with this branch. It's gotta go behind this flower, and this set is gotta go on the branch itself. Like that. Oops, stuck to my. Okay, then we got the other two larger flowers. You always want to kind of mix your sizes so it looks more natural. So that's why I'm using the larger flowers, some of the medium flowers, and some of the smaller flowers in the set here. So here is some of the smallest ones. And of course, I mean, you can make them any color, shape them differently, just, there's all kinds of ways to use your flowers in different colors, different shapes, different layering. It's just so fun to just kind of play with them and see what you end up with. Right here, I'm just kind of building the little, and then some of the leaves around here. Let me get this. So I'm gluing that to the bottom of this flower. This one over here, and I'm placing it behind the branch itself, like that. And another one over here. these two. Make sure I press it in, and then one more. And of course you can add more or less leaves, however you want your arrangement. I'm just trying to go through this one here. I might add a little bit more later, but I wanted to get the idea of what I was thinking about for this particular project. So now that I have these, what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of center, and I think I'm going to end up getting that back covered, but that's okay. So this one right here, I gotta glue it so it's kind of centered into the base. So put a little bit of glue on the, there we go, that's better. So it doesn't look like it's leaning to one side. I'm just pressing that. There we go. So I think that one is going to go there. In this one, same thing. Let me glue it into the base. Should I press it? Kind of align, give it a better placement. There we go. So let me. Okay, so I got some frills here real quick. So I'm going to do some heart of gold on this one is for the magnolia. So a good amount, just a little bit of frills in there. I tap them with my fingertip and voila, real quick. And you can find this. I mean, this is stuff that I have in my craft stash. You can find these anywhere out there. You can use stamens. You can use whatever you know, tiny beads. Okay, so that's that one. Get these out of the way. And then for the cherry blossoms, I have Let Us Entertain You is the color. It's like a pale green. I love the names on these. They are always very creative with their names. So I'm going to do actually a little bit of frills in the center of the stamen. And then of course in the centers of these smaller florals. So I'm just going to put a little bit into each one. There we go. Tap them a little bit with my fingertips so they kind of sit into the glue, not just on top of it. And then with my tweezers, I'm just kind of cleaning that out. Sometimes they kind of go all over the place and get everywhere. And I want them just to be into my center of my flowers. So I'm just kind of getting them to fall out, the ones that are a little loose. Kind of fixing these ones in the smaller flowers. And there we go. So those are done. So you can see there, a little bit of green in the centers of the stamen. Okay, so now for the placement of the bases here, I am going to glue this one to the back. Just put some glue here. And then this one is just going to be placed against this edge right here and glued to the back. And there's the floral. Okay, and then this one right here, this one I want to glue it up here away from the back, so close to the edge. So I'm going to just put glue on the side and the bottom, and hopefully that holds it. If not, I might have to come back later and do some foam dots, a layer of like thick foam tape in the back. but I like having this one sit right here on the edge. Let me see if I have something long enough. See if this helps. Just kind of pressing it on the inside and then on the bottom like that. So it goes nicely. Okay. So that's what I had in mind. And I might even add some florals right here, like sitting on the edge over here, or maybe in one of the corners up here, another little branch to finish it off. But yeah, that is how you put together the magnolia flower, the cherry blossom, and the little decorative bases for your floral arrangements. I love how this turned out. So you can see the dimension right there. And again, I might add some extra florals there to finish it up. And then I will post it later once the release is live on our website. Thank you. Let me switch this over. So, I hope you enjoyed my presentation of my newest collection, Spring Blossom. I really had fun designing it and playing with it. Thank you so much for my design team. They did amazing with the project. So I am so grateful for their talent and their creativity. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, bye.